They say there's a patch of forest just off Route 57 that no one should enter. Most maps don't even show it. If you're driving past at night, you might miss it entirely. But if you're unfortunate enough to hear it calling your name, there's no escaping it. I didn't believe the stories at first. Who would? A forest that knows you? That lures you in? It sounded like campfire nonsense. But when my best friend Logan disappeared there 3 years ago, something shifted in me. The authorities said he probably got lost and succumbed to the elements, but they never found a body. The search parties gave up after a week. His family moved away soon after. But I couldn't let it go. I needed answers. It was late autumn when I decided to go looking for him. The nights were long, the air crisp, and the trees bare. I packed light, a flashlight, a bottle of water, a hunting knife, and Logan's old compass, a gift I'd found among his things after he vanished. Something about it felt comforting, like it would guide me to him. When I reached the turnoff to Route 57, the sun was setting. The forest loomed ahead, a mass of skeletal branches and shadows. I parked my car on the side of the road and stepped into the undergrowth. The moment my boots hit the forest floor, the world felt different. The air was colder, thicker. The sounds of the highway vanished as if swallowed by the trees. I wandered for what felt like hours, guided by nothing but instinct and the faint pull of Logan's compass. The forest seemed endless, each tree identical to the last. My flashlight barely cut through the darkness, the beam swallowed by the night. That's when I heard it, a voice, faint but unmistakable. Evan! My blood froze. It was Logan's voice, but distorted, like it was coming from a broken radio. I whipped around, scanning the trees, but saw nothing. My heart pounded as the voice called again, this time from deeper within the forest. Evan, come here. Against all logic, I followed it. Branches clawed at my clothes and the ground grew uneven, but I pressed on. The voice grew louder, more insistent. Then I saw it, a faint light flickering through the trees. It wasn't like fire or a flashlight. It pulsed, shifting colors in a way that hurt to look at. The light led me to a clearing, and in the center stood an enormous tree. Its trunk was twisted and gnarled, its bark blackened as if burned. The air around it shimmered, and the ground was littered with bones. Animal, human, I couldn't tell. I should have turned back, but the light and the voice had a hold on me. As I stepped closer, I saw something carved into the tree's bark. Names, hundreds of them, etched deep into the wood. At the very top was Logan's name, fresh and raw, the sap still oozing like blood. Evan, the voice whispered again, this time from the tree itself. Its trunk split open, revealing a hollow that pulsed with that same otherworldly light. Inside, I saw him, Logan, or what was left of him. His face was pale, his eyes sunken, and his body twisted like the roots of the tree. He reached out to me, his hand trembling. "Help me," he croaked. But as I stepped forward, something shifted. The light inside the tree flared, and I felt a pull, like invisible hands dragging me closer. The ground beneath me began to writhe, the roots snaking toward my feet. Logan's expression twisted into something alien, his mouth stretching into a grin far too wide for his face. "Stay," he said, his voice no longer his own. "Join us." I snapped out of it, adrenaline surging through me. I slashed at the roots with my knife, stumbling backward. The forest seemed to come alive, the trees groaning and shifting as if trying to block my escape. I ran, the whispers of my name chasing me through the darkness. When I finally broke through the tree line and stumbled onto the highway, the forest was silent. My car was where I'd left it, but something was wrong. The hood was covered in scratches, deep grooves that looked like claw marks. My hands shook as I fumbled with the keys and sped away. The image of Logan's twisted form burned into my mind. I've never gone back to that forest. I've warned others to stay away, but people don't listen. Every year, someone goes missing, their names added to the tree, and sometimes late at night I hear my name whispered in the wind, faint but unmistakable. The forest still calls for me. It's only a matter of time before I answer.